Good day, everyone. This is Tim, and really having an enjoyable day in Melbourne. And this is a beautiful and windy day here. And got a chance to spend a lot of the time with the family and so many meals with the uncles and aunties and the cousins and the little ones as well. And got a chance to visit two little friends. That is Oreo Squishington. And the one in the black, that is Chirpy Fuego. Oh, she? He?
She.
She's
actually...
actually...
chickens.
Oh, that's right. She's actually dark green. Really nice to visit with them and spend time with the family. So lots of food the last couple of days, and I think all the cousins and the little ones are all mealed out. I think they've eaten too much, and I think so have I. So I think today is just you and me, and as luck would have it, the Chinese food and the Asian food here in Melbourne is just superb, and so are the meats. So I was lucky enough to find a really nice place. I hope it's a nice place. It's not only a buffet, but it's also a hot pot with all the wonderful meats and the lamb and all that good stuff. So two good things in one. I think we're just approaching. I hope you're hungry. Come on, let's go have a great buffet. Let's go. And this is going to be a problem because I think the whole building are layers and layers of buffet restaurants. So it'll be interesting to figure out which one or which level we should choose. Just going to watch out for the cars. And again, opposite sides, I always get confused. Let's go check it out. So it's about 50 a person. Let's eat. Did I follow it? Oh, all right, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, wonderful. So nice to grab a table here, and I can see this is probably the best table ever because right in front is the buffet. And again, this is the best of both worlds. This is the hot food and a hot pot and all the desserts. So it's a hot food buffet and a hot pot buffet. And I got a little bit of chance to do some reconnaissance, and it looks quite good. And I think how this is done is that you get your soup base here, and I'm just looking around at the tables, and I think the pot is split, so you get a chance to choose a few, and I think we are ready. Hi, Bang.
How are you?
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for the tour.
Yep, we try our best to look after all my patrons.
Oh, thank you. Well, and then looking at the soup, nothing too spicy.
Yeah, nothing too spicy.
But
I recommend
the tasty?
We have a tasty soup.
Yeah.
And tom yum.
Well, let's go with one of those. And can I order a drink? As much as I like the grapefruit, I think the lychee would be kind of nice. Can I get a lychee?
Of course.
Ah, thanks, Bing.
Yeah.
All right. So the soup base has been ordered and the drinks has been ordered. But let me show you the room here. This is the House of Delight, and you can see all the steamy goodness. And I think our table is going to be steamy as well shortly. But while we wait for the soup and the drinks, I think we'll go for the buffet first. Come on, let's check it out. So this is looking pretty amazing here, and I think we've got a couple of sections. Over here is the hot food and some desserts, and over there are all the items for the hot pot, and I think we'll grab a plate first.
Okay, so.
All right, and these plates are substantial. Let's see. Oh my goodness. So it's kind of cool, a lot of different cultures. I think this is curry fish ball, a Taiwanese or a Asian type snack. All right, and this is interesting. This I've never heard of. I'm not sure if you can guess what this is, but with the cucumber, I would suspect it's probably Indonesia. But this is spare ribs. And this is tomato, cheesy spare ribs. I think it is an Indo-Italian type of dish here. That would be fun to try. And look at this. These are potato chips, but that is not what I'm after. These are Orlin roasted wings because it says so right here. Let's give them a try. I wonder if they are New Orleans wings. So definitely fusion flavors here. And it's kind of interesting because as you're grabbing the food, you can see the desserts on the other side and I think the hot pot items further down. All right, let's see what we have. So these are mussels think I'm gonna skip that, but these are, I can't say, having a hard time pronouncing this, but these are octopus balls. Okoyaki, my apologies, hard to say, but very tasty. Oh, and now we're talking. These are the shrimp spring roll with an actual shrimp, maybe just one. Drop it here, and we'll drop off another one. And these, I think these are crab claws. Let's give them a try. Okay, so a plate of deep fried goodness. All right, and there is more rounding the corner. The black bean clams, the crawfish, and a salt and pepper chicken. Always nice. A little bit here. And maybe one more. Balanced. And it's always a bit nerve-wracking. Let's see what else. For a crawfish. And its friend there. And maybe just a bit of clams. And I think they are called pippies here. Fun to say. And a perfect way to start off the dinner. It is nice to come back to the table and find new things bubbling away. Our hot pot has come, but more importantly, our drink. And I think I need to adjust this a little bit. There we go. And a little bit of a lychee drink. Cheers to you. All right, this is very good. A beautiful grape soda infused with the flavors of lychee. Very nice. And with that, I think we need to start on with the appetizers because the soup is bubbling away. And I don't want that to over reduce, but let's see. I think I'm gonna go for the shrimp spring roll first. This is very nice because most places would offer vegetarian spring rolls. This has got a giant shrimp inside, literally a shrimp spring roll. That is very nice. And right next to the shrimp spring roll is, I think this is a crab puff roll. Give that a try. A little bit of sauce. This is interesting, but I should caveat that interesting in a good way. I think this is a scallop mousse, and I think that is wrapped around a crab claw. Very crispy on the inside, and a sweet scallop mousse on the inside. And you go a little further, a little bit of crab. It's kind of nice. Now, there's not too much work there. And I think we need the chopsticks for this unique dish. A spare rib in a tomato cheese sauce. Italian-inspired spare ribs, fusion to the next level. If you're here, give the spare ribs a try. Tender and soft, and you'll be surprised at the flavors. Tomato and cheese kind of does go together. And I gotta try that New Orleans wings. And this is a nice, plump, juicy looking wing. Not sure what New Orleans tastes like, but let's find out. Very nice wing. Nice and plump and tender. Perfectly juicy, not too spicy. I'm not sure if that's the taste of Orleans wings or maybe I'm just completely wrong, but it is very tasty. So I think I'm just gonna finish this off. And maybe we'll go for more appetizers. There's some more adventurous things on the other side. A fiery red hot chicken and some slippery noodle type dish. And of course, all the hot food items there. So I'm just gonna finish this up and then we'll take you back for round two. Cheers. Round one of the appetizers and the hot food has been done and dusted. And I must say that salt and pepper fried chicken, so crispy on the outside and juicy and tender on the inside. Definitely go for that. And those clams, or you call them pippies here, really delicious, succulent, and that sauce is fantastic. And of course, the comforting fish ball, very familiar, reminds you of a snack or a late night snack. And with the soup boiling, I think we will just need to adjust this and go for round two. It's time for hot pot. Let's go. So we're gonna skip past the hot food, and here we come to the hot pot items here. And I think maybe to keep things from sliding around, we will start off with some veggies. I think these are a little bit of a healthy, refreshing contrast to the soup, and maybe a little bit more. All right, and let's see what else they have. Okay, so this is all the veggie station and all the noodles. I think we'll go for a little bit of noodles to give it a little bit of substance. And further down, a little bit of mushrooms. And my weakness, a little bit of potatoes, even though they are raw. And now let's move on to this section here with all the fantastic meats and the odd lotus root, but all nicely curled. I think back there is a pork, which is wonderfully nice and fatty. Right over here. A little bit more, and one more. Oh, a little bit of beef.
All right.
Over here.
All right.
And it's interesting, I saw the gentleman next to me, and they really pile on the items here. But let's go for some beef. So this is the sliced beef on this side. Put a little bit here. And I think some Spam. And oh, this is interesting. That is not just any blood. That is duck blood. And as gruesome as it is, I gotta give this a try. I had some a bloody duck in France, canard au sang, and I think this is similar but very different. And right over here, and of course a little bit of spicy chicken. And I'm only going for a little bit because there's so much. All right, let's see. Oh, this is a seafood. So with the crab over there and the mussels and the scallops and the fresh fish. But I think I'm gonna continue with the meats here. And look at this, some shrimp and scallops and razor clams, definitely the favorite. But I think this is the other favorite, a fatty, wonderful, thinly shaven lamb right over here. All right, and let's see what else. Oh, beautiful mushrooms. And I think these are konnyaku noodles, no calories, wonderful textures, so one can have a lot. That right here. And next to the noodles that are good for you are the noodles that aren't so good for you. This is instant ramen, and as unhealthy as they are tasty. And let's see what else we have. Oh, these are tofu and definitely not my favorite, but if we move on, this is deep fried tofu and just the skin, and they're pretty cool because once you dip them in, they immediately soak up that wonderful broth. And maybe another one here. And moving on to the seafood, we've got those giant mussels, a little bit. I think these are interesting. I never had these before. Long clams. I'm just gonna go for two because I'm not sure how they taste, but I will go for a little bit more of these. These are razor clams, and I do know how they taste, and they taste very good. We'll go for a couple. Oh, and then a little bit of scallops right over here. Gorgeous Australian shrimp. And I do like the fish, so I think this is thinly sliced grouper. Let's go for a bit. Grouper or snapper. Let's give this a try. Right over here. And with everything mixing, that's okay. They're gonna be cooked together anyhow. Maybe a little bit more. And all the way down there are the crabs. And I think I will go for two. right over here. And one more, even though I know there'll be a lot of work. Let's see what else they have. All right, so this is a wonderful basa. Nice fish, nice and tender. Maybe just a few. Not too much room left. Okay, oh, and these are interesting. These are little dumplings that are filled with a little bit of a surprise inside. And maybe a couple of these. All right, and the plate is definitely getting full, but I think just a little bit of glass noodles. But I think this will do it for the hot pot. Give it a twirl. And with the soup boiling away, I think we better get back. Okay, so this is round two and a very substantial one. And I separated the meats with the seafood and the noodles, but I also got a sauce as well. So this is my own concoction. And over at the sauce station, there were so many bowls of different sauces. So my favorite is a little bit of green onions, a little bit of cilantro, some sesame sauce, sesame oil, a little bit of chili oil for some kick, a bit of soy sauce, and of course, a lot of satay sauce. And all we need to do is mix it around. And I'm sure you have your own style, but this is one of my favorites. Oh, very tasty. And I think we need to start off with the meats. And there is a nice variety to choose from the lamb to the beef to the chicken to the pork. And I think this is more beef. So let's go. I'm gonna throw the potatoes in first, just so that they cook. And even though the water looks slow, with all the food that we're putting in, it'll rise and rise and rise. And let's put some beef in there. Not too long. And while that's cooking, a bit of the noodles in the hot side. And I think these are done with beef. It should be medium. Let's have that. All right, let's give it a try. Nice and fatty. A little bit or a lot of the sauce. Oh. Tender and flavorful and cooked to perfection because I was doing the cooking. And I have to say that, but beautiful sauce and the meat, so thin and fatty at the same time. As good as the beef is, I think we gotta try that fatty lamb. And they used to be fully curled, and now they have deflated somewhat. And let's try the lamb in the spicy sauce. And it doesn't take a lot of time. And I think that is cooked, and we'll cool it down in a little bit of sauce. Wow. The lamb in Australia is so good, so flavorful, and a well distribution of fat. And with this, you don't want the regular broth, you want the spicy broth. And again, just a little bit of cooking, and that's all it needs. And then the sauce, minus that pepper. So good, nice and fresh, beautiful flavors, not gamey. The sauces enhance the flavor of the lamb. I can definitely get used to the Australian lamb. And I am more interested in the duck blood. So a nice rectangle of duck blood. And I think I'll dump it in here. Now the problem is, I don't know how long this is supposed to cook. And I got the potatoes in here. So remind me if I forget about the potatoes. And while that is cooking, I'm gonna throw a little bit of these little meatballs or seafood balls, and then the dumpling as well. There we go. Oh, and what the heck, a few scallops. Oh, they are hard to pick up. And the tricky thing is, you have to remember the order. So I'm just gonna let this cook, and I'll take it back when it's done. Cheers. All right, the buffet does get busy as time goes on, and as the dumplings and the seafood balls and the duck blood was cooking. On the spicy side, I did put in the grouper and the basa, and I think the duck blood is done. Just take it out. And some of the dumplings. And as we're eating, we can see Bing welcoming all the other folks as well. He is quite the showman, but let's try that duck blood. So I'm gonna give this a try on its own.
If not, I will recommend for the new title restaurant.
It's an interesting texture. It's the essence of duck, as it should be, and it does remind me of that Carnardo San sauce and a little bit of the sauce. If you're adventurous enough, give it a try. It's not too bad. A little bit of the scallops. Well, I thought I overcooked them, but they are just perfectly cooked, nice and tender. Pretty impressed. Hats off to the chef. And I gotta show you these dumplings. If I think they are what I think they are, then there should be something inside. And there is. I can't tell you what's inside. Very tasty. I think that might be some type of fish roe, but deep flavors, seafoody, very good. And a little bit of the sauce to make it even tastier. And I think our fish is done. So I'm gonna fish them out, so to speak, pun intended. And I totally forgot about the noodles, and that's the problem. It's so easy to forget. And hopefully I can pick this up. Okay, so the fish might be a little bit spicy, but that's okay. Let's give it a try. And they should be cooked through and through because I forgot about them. Masa is always a nice soft fish, very tender. And a little bit of spice from the broth is nice, and also a bit of sauce. Let's try the grouper. Nice and thinly sliced. That is very nice, and I can't wait to try the potatoes. And I think these are potato noodles, and I thought I put them in too long, but I think they are just okay. That can get messy and very spicy. That was much needed. The potato noodles were soaking up all those spices, and it was pretty intense. So I think I'm gonna finish this up and continue to cook all the rest, and I'll take you back after I cool down a bit. So another round of hot pot, and I did have to be careful about what I put into the broth. The spicy chicken, since it was already spicy, went into the hot broth, and the meats went into the tasty broth along with the noodles and the shrimp. And I think this is all ready, so I'm just gonna scoop them up. I might have overdone it. Oh, and almost forgot about the potatoes and the shrimp. It's not enough room. And now for the spicy side. Let's see, I think this is all the chicken. And and chicken needs to be well done, not medium rare, medium well, or medium. Let's get some of that out. With a spoon, my chopstick skills aren't that great. Oh, and those chilies are looking scary. So it is interesting. I went back to the buffet to get some cucumbers and potato chips to counteract a lot of the spiciness. And lo and behold, they had something new. These are the scallops, nice and baked and cheesy, and I couldn't help myself. So let's give them a try. And I think in Asian restaurants, they tend to keep the roe in there as well. So I think this is it. And that is our traditional, what we recognize as the scallop meat. Let's give that a try. Oh. That is not just any baked scallop. That is a garlic and cheese baked scallop. And I think I'm gonna grab a little bit of the cheese and a little bit of that butter sauce with the garlic. And we'll try the roe. Oh. It's interesting, but if you never had the roe before, it's very tasty. I think this is white, and some are orange, but huge meat there. Very nice. So I think I'm gonna go for a little bit of the beef in the sauce. Very good. And these are my favorite. These are the konnyaku noodles. And I forgot to mention that beef is tender, and I think they might have tenderized it. Grab one of these. It just soaks up all the sauce. Oh. Beautiful textures and no calories. Let's try a little bit of that chicken and that spicy broth, if I can pick it up and drop it into the sauce. Very good, a little bit spicy, and if it becomes too spicy, we've got the potato chips. That just soaks up all the oil, all the chili oil. And let's try the fatty pork. Again, this only takes a while. Sorry, knocked you around there. And with the pork, I heard it can be done medium, but why take any chances? Medium well it is. A little bit of the sauce, and that table is getting messy, and so am I. Cheers. Very hot, but very tender. And let me show you this fried bean curd skin, because this is light and airy, deep fried, but as soon as you dip it into the broth, it just disintegrates, or it just softens up. And you know how on your cornflakes, it's never nice when it is too crispy. When it is perfect when a little bit of milk has come into it. This is the same principle, just a perfect amount of crispness and sogginess. Oh, thank you. And lo and behold, our pot is full, but this has already soaked up all that wonderful broth. So I think I have to do this in stages, and I still got a lot of the noodles left, and I think we'll make a little bit of an instant noodles, and I'll take you back for that. So I got a chance to try the potatoes, and even though they looked overdone, they were perfectly cooked. Potatoes are my weakness, and a little bit of that special sauce on the potatoes, extra good. And those scallops, Australia seafood is second to none. Very plump, so delicious, buttery and garlicky. So if you're here, definitely go for the scallops. And this is gonna be a noodle round. And earlier on, I dropped in the instant ramen along with a crustacean. And I think they're just about done. Right in the bowl, almost. And a little bit of shiitake. And our crustacean friend over here. And with the ramen, I think maybe a little bit of pork. And this doesn't take any time. Right in here. Swish it around. And while we're at it, a little bit of the razor clams. And the pork looks done. A little bit more. All right, and the razor clams. And of course, a little bit of the broth all over. Okay, and maybe a little bit of the sauce, just for a little bit more kick. Quite nice to end the meal with a bowl of noodles. And I think we will start off with the razor clam. Oh. The clams are nice and sweet and delicate. With a little bit of cilantro, makes it fresher. And messy. And finally, I think we gotta try the noodles. Nothing like a comforting bowl of noodles. That is very nice. Saucy noodles, of course, with the sesame paste and maybe even a little bit of pork. Oh, that's a big piece, but that's okay. I know this is just a second round, but with all the bits and bites of the meats and the seafood and the noodles, there's a lot of work to do. And I'll finish this up, and I don't think I'm gonna go for another round. I think I'm just gonna go for dessert, and I'll take you back for that. And just a little bit of that refreshing lychee tea. Very nice. That was quite a lot to go through, and if it looked like I haven't had my vegetables, well, I have, and that was thanks to a good friend Andy, who reminded me that vegetables are supposed to be eaten last for the hot pot. And I think it has something to do with the oils and having it soak up the oils. And now we have dessert. So this is the dessert area, and while it was a lot more pristine at the beginning, they still have quite a lot left. And I think we will go for a strawberry mousse with the popping boba, and that looks pretty interesting. I think this is a honeydew melon with cantaloupe on top, right over here. Oh, and what the heck, a little bit of mango. And it's kind of nice because they're still replenishing everything, the remnants of the cakes, and I think there is one piece left, and I will go for this one. This feels like hockey. Let's see, a little bit of a wiggle. Oh, and I give up. Oh, didn't realize they have tongs. Okay, right over here, making a mess. And they have the creme brulee, and oh, thank you so much. A beautiful meringue. I think that is a matcha eclair. So easily distracted. That's okay. Over here, and we mustn't forget the meringue. And of course, the obligatory chocolate fountain with all its dipping goodness. And I think you can make your own tiramisu. You just need the mascarpone and the coffee liqueur and egg tarts. Let's go for one. All right. So this is kind of hard to capture because everywhere you go, they keep stocking this up, and they've just stocked this up with the lollipops here. And there are other stations. So that's the main dessert station, but if you go a little bit further that way, you'll find some fresh items as well. And this is your make your own dessert station. It's almost like a Halo Halo inspired station here. A little bit of fruits. Were the pastries good? Go for the pastries?
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Bang was saying to go for the pastries. Oh, okay. These are good?
I haven't tried this.
All right, will do.
Have you got a creme brulee?
Not yet. Well, thank you.
Just some lighter.
So Meng was saying to go for the custard pastry and the egg custard tart. So very nice of them and very helpful. And I think I am going to finish this off at the sauce station because they have one of my favorites. This is a tapioca taro coconut milk dessert right over here. A little bit more. And I think they have another dessert, and this is a traditional one. This is a lychee, snow fungus, soupy dessert, but already with a plate so full, I think this is it. So typically at Asian buffets, they're not known for the desserts, but I think this is pretty impressive. And this is what I have, and I can't wait to give this a try. I think those are popping bobas, and the little ones, Zach and Zara, were loving these. I got a little bit of watermelon, but I can't wait to dig into that matcha eclair. Oh, much too pretty to eat, looking pretty good. And this is gonna be a big bite. Best one as usual. But if you're here, definitely make sure you go for the matcha eclair. So light and delicate. Pastry is nice and crunchy, and a beautiful cream on the inside. And cold too. So really great desserts. Especially at an Asian restaurant. And I gotta try this fruity type dessert here. And I'll go for the raspberry. There we go, a little bit of a swivel. Not sure what it is, but it is tasty. I think that is a cross between a little bit of sponge, a little bit of cheesecake, lots of cream, and lots of berries. It's like a cheesecake in layer cake form. And Bang was recommending these two, the egg custard tart and the egg custard pastry. Give the egg custard tart a try. Tastes as good as it looks, and it looks and tastes phenomenal. Light, delicate custard and flaky pastry. And I gotta try the egg custard pastry. And Bang has been dead on with the recommendations. No. Oh, what a dirty trick. This is chock full of a disgusting filling called durian. And if you love durian, you're gonna love this. I don't like durian. And we need to get the taste out of the mouth. And I can't think of a better way to do it than with this wonderful mousse. Oh, a dessert to the rescue. Let's give this a try. Oh, cheers. That was so refreshing, especially after that durian pastry. Nice and custardy, perfectly set, and a nice pop from the popping boba. Cheers. Oh, very good. So, with the durian removed, let's go for one of the favorites. This is the coconut tapioca taro dessert. Nice and cold and very refreshing. A perfect end to the meal. Very good. So, this is House of Delight. I think this is the first Chinese buffet I've been to here in Melbourne or in Australia altogether. Best of both worlds, a hot buffet and a HotPot Buffet as well. So really nice folks here. Bang was phenomenal, and aside from the durian pastry. And really nice to explore Melbourne and experience all the different restaurants, different cultures, different foods, all of which are tasty. So thank you so much for joining and keeping me company. And until we see each other again, I hope you're keeping well, I hope you're eating well, and I hope you're traveling well. And with that, I think just one more, that beautiful meringue. A beautiful passion fruit tart. Thank you again. God bless, and bye-bye for now.